Hey friends and foes, it's me, PB, and today I'm very excited for the video that I have for you. We are going to be playing What Remains of Edith Finch. Now, this is one of my favorite video games, if not one of my overall favorite pieces of art of all time. And I recently played it over on Twitch, and this is just going to be a straight re-upload of that VOD so that everybody else can enjoy it as well as, get to re-enjoy it for as long as they want. So, this is technically my first Let's Play for YouTube, but it is just a re-upload of a Twitch VOD with this post-record intro so that I'm able to just upload it straight and not have to worry about anything else. But anyway, this is going to be a kind of a long video, but we play through it all in one go, and I hope you all love it as much as I love it because it truly is so near and dear to my heart. So, without further ado, here is What Remains of Edith Finch. Hello. I'm really close to the camera, sorry. Hey Stuart. Hello, fellow members of the Cool Kids Club. Friendly reminder, illegal substances are bad. Thank you, have a great perfect. Yeah, that's the reminder of the evening. Illegal substances are bad. Especially if we get to one of the Finch family stories, which we should. Actually, I don't know if we're gonna get that one tonight. Anyway, hi, welcome to this. There's somebody here. I think it might be my bot though. So no big deal. Oh, Brittany's here. Hey, Britt. How's it going? How we gangin'? But, and Surreal's here. Hi, Surreal. We're hanging out. We're doing a quiet, atmospheric, very chill vibe tonight. So, which is funny because the lights are going fucking nuts behind me, but that's just kind of the way that they go. Let me vibe it out in here. So, let's play this game. So, it starts kind of like immediately upon opening the game. So I haven't even opened it. I'm looking at it in my Steam, my Steam library. I'm going to switch over to the thing that I have set up for it. And this is going to be messy. But we'll get to it. We'll work it out somehow. We'll get there. It'll work out. It's loud. I'll lower that a little bit and raise me up. Okay, so I don't see it there. So here's what I'm gonna do. I know this is loud as hell, and I literally just said that this was atmospheric, but I promise it is. Specific window. What Remains of Edith Finch. There. Oh, you guys are definitely seeing it right now. Real big like, but it's okay. I'm making it smaller, so you guys can actually enjoy the game with me. Oh boy. All right. I'm gonna put it there, and then drop it back here so it fits. Okay. Let's play some Edith Finch. Okay, before we get started, this game has content warning for death, child death, accidental suicide, substance abuse, alcohol, drugs. It's kind of heavy. So you're welcome to tap out whenever you want. I promise I won't be upset. I may also tap out. It's been a while since I've played this. So let's play some Edith Finch. I also got a new keyboard. I'm excited about the keyboard. Okay, right. Sorry. We're supposed to be playing.
This isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning with the house.
Okay, I have to change some volume stuff around. Okay. Audio. This is all fine. I just have to make sure it's the right level for me to enjoy it. Graphics. Ultra, draw distance, ultra. Everything's gotta be the most. Do bright, change the brightness a little bit so I can see better because I'm... Okay. I think we're doing... So you can see the Finch family tree right now. Edith. Right here. There's Edith. All right. We're going to be learning about all of these people. So, very exciting about that. I just want to make sure I get my levels right because this is such an important... The audio is incredibly important. All right. Let's do this. You know what? I'm going to go even more atmospheric with this and dim my lights a little bit. So we can go full... Comfy stream. Oh, now it's... There we go. Okay, let's do it. Ooh, that zoom is something else. This is literally so gorgeous to me. Like, this is my favorite kind of environment for anything. Like, just to live in. So that's the house. You can see it.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Very important story game.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
I love the way that the words will like scatter or disappear. Water texture is so good.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
She's got pretty fingernails, that I will say.
Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
We go up or down? I don't remember. Okay, so the zoom does not make me go faster, it just zooms me. Pretty flowers. I think they kind of go the same way. Oh, no, this is blocked off now.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
I'll just go underneath this. A deer. Aww. Hi, bud. It's like very crunchy clip-clop noise, very satisfying.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
There's so much I want to say, but I won't, because she definitely talks about it. I want to go this way. I know we literally just walked upon the house, but like, this is the low road, and I don't think I've actually ever taken the low road. I think I've taken the high road every time that I've gone through this. But God, it is so gorgeous.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent.
Oh, I got a little
as if
achievement.
they're about to say something, but never do.
I got an achievement that said all roads, so look at me. Wet. It's all foggy down here. Oh, this is so tasty. I think that's where it splits off. But I will go just to retrace my steps again. Oh, hi! Welcome in. We are playing What Remains of Edith Finch. We've just started. I wanted to loop around, so I covered all the ground because the story is location triggered. So this is there's like puzzles in this game that you have to figure out, like secret passageways and things like that. But really, the point of the game is the story. So. My new keyboard is deathly silent. It still has the good, like, thox if you're typing. But it doesn't click or anything. It has no like clickiness in the keys, so it's very silent, very atmospheric for this. Yeah, I hope you like this game. It's really, really fun. Again, I'm Hoodie Gang on stream so that I can be cozy for this very important story. I dream about this house sometimes. Like, I know she literally just talked about, oh, she saw it in her dreams, but like I do. There's something about the way that this game was made that has stuck with me, like, since I saw my first playthrough of it. I'm gonna go up the front path.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
Milton Finch. Milton. Another Milton poster, another one. Oh jeez, they're everywhere.
I asked Edie once about the dragon in the pond. She said it had killed her husband. I was 6. It seemed like an odd joke to me even then.
There's a little dragon down there. God, just looking up at it, ugh. It feels like going somewhere that you
Now,
have seen
as a 17-year-old,
like
I
only in a
knew
dream.
exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Another Milton. Yeah.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Okay. Potting soil. Ugh, the subtle change of the sound of her feet on the metal ramp instead of the... Yeah, the metal ramp instead of like the dirt or the wood of the porch. Ugh. Oh, yeah.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
So we are in the house. We are here. It's the kind of game where like it feels like you need to be quiet even though you know that obviously nobody can hear you. But like there's such tiny details that like I could spend I think an hour just looking at all of the little details just in the garage. Because everything is something.
The power had been turned off the night we left. For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
Oh, the cat's here. Hey, baby. Come on, let's get you into my lap. I don't even know where to go first.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Little water filter on the sink. We love to see it.
Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
I like Chinese food. I think that would be fine. Such a cool stove and oven. Ugh, so neat.
Or how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Molly. I love that there are just books everywhere.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
Oh, there's still an iPod in there. That would not last here. That would get absolutely stolen. Like.
It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
God, this house is so
Nothing in the house
gorgeous.
looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
So far, I haven't seen a repeated book title, which is so impressive to me. I don't want to do that yet. I want to go through here, because this is from the kitchen, so we're going to walk this way to the front door. I'm so excited to get in there. Hello.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of
Those
that
look like
last night.
marshmallows. I don't know if I should go upstairs or go downstairs first.
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
I like the Bigfoot back there.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Now we going in the basement though. Alright, so the closet is nowhere. We can't. Oh, hello.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
We can't get in here yet, so let's go up the stairs. No, this shit'll drive you up the fucking wall. Yeah, anyway.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Molly.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Ooh, this one's open.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Maybe it's for this.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
Here we go.
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan, but I had no idea what was behind that door.
Molly's room.
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
And it's saving. Which means it's about to start.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Molly.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Who is messaging me? No, I don't need to worry about that. Well,
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
all right. Here we go.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back. I kept eating and eating. I ate a lot of things that night. Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Where'd it go? It's extra immersive that I have a cat purring in my lap. I can't find where he is.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
It's all the way up there.
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up,
Munch, 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 munch.
and suddenly I was an owl.
An owl.
First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
Cannot seem to get these rabbits. There. Got it.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons.
I look away.
I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit.
Gotcha.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Then I was a shark, baby! But I was a shark rolling down a hill. Not anywhere near the wadi. And I have to roll down this hill towards the water. I always thought that shit was so fucking goofy.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals.
Seal! Bounce!
I
Bounce!
tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good. Grabbed on tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Get bonked on.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Get bonked on. Get bonked on.
After the last passenger, I was
Get
still
bonked.
hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
We're going up. We got uppies. Looks kind of familiar.
I got
huh?
closer and closer. All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
All right.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
That's our first story.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
Sorry.
We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom. Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. even in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Carpet in the bathroom is such a choice.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Forg. I mean, the bathroom is cute, so...
It was a pretty big trace.
I mean, I don't like the carpet, of course, but, you know, pink is cool. Oh, here's another one. Who would have guessed? Same key, all the locks.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Hello, little cat. Thank you for stopping in. Well, I did want to, in fact, go try this door. Oh, but it's been sealed. I don't need to try it. Hi, little cat. I'm gonna make sure I explore everything I can explore before I go through. Oh, are we gonna do? We gonna do Odin?
Room's like a
right now?
museum.
Oh, hello. Don't do that. I think we're gonna do Odin before we go through the door in the bathroom.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house. Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
All right. Now we can go through the hole in the bathroom. Calvin Finch.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
I like this little dark room. Milton. Oh, hello. God, this room is so cool.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
I'm gonna... stuff, Mr. Calvin? No, I don't want to go through there yet. I don't want to go through there yet. I want to go up. Sorry. Well, first off, can I go this way? Yes, I can. Oh, but he took his bridge down. That's fine. We will go over to Command Center.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Let's do Calvin.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore he'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready!
Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing. After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again. The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies. Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent. She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Get bonked on.
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out.
Get bonked on.
But she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
I like the start style of this part.
Walter, are you there? Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police described the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand.
Man door, hand hook, car door. Car door, man hook, hand car. Hook hand, man door,
Saw the
hook man.
And was speechless. He was quite smashing.
Man door, hand hook, car door. Get fucked.
And Johnny was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned.
Get fucked. Get fucked.
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Can you walk any faster than that? Jesus. Barbara. Uh-oh.
Bookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Yeah. Can you literally go any faster?
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise
Aww.
her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
But
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending. I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box. Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara. Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
let's find another way up.
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house. Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it. It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key. Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot. I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
Yes.
If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
I want to make sure I see everything before I start Walter's story.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today.
Peaches.
I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
This is January 1976.
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just
2005.
stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years.
Oh, hello, cat.
I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
Hello. You're gonna stay in my lap because you're gonna press buttons on my keyboard.
I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with 1 year day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Walter.
Walter died when I was 6.
I like trains.
I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Also, hi, welcome to the stream.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
We're vibing in here. Howdy. Yeah, we're vibing. We're playing What Remains of Edith Finch, which is a game that I have watched people— Ow! Creep just bit my foot. It's a game I've watched people play a long time,
Maybe
and I've
she was
started
afraid I
playing
didn't
a
like
couple of
Walter.
times.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
Trash pit. Peanut butter. Dope. Sweetie Crisps. All he's got is like peaches and Sweetie Crisps and peanut butter. And like, that's fine. That'd be okay for however many years he was down
I'm
here.
gonna bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left.
Bite.
Or maybe 2.
Fucking of course I want peanut butter to dip them in. Oh, right. Sorry.
I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself. And found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
I have a cat hair in my mouth. Sorry. Yeah. I cannot get this out of my mouth. Just 1 second. I'm sorry to BRB, but I gotta get this out of my mouth. Alright, we're back. Got the cat hair out of my mouth. Alright. Well, I guess there used to be a train here. Did I have 2 cat hairs in my mouth? I guess I did have 2 cat hairs in my mouth. Wow. Well, I got the second one. Alright.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
It's not the end of it. There's way more. We have to get back up to the house. Oh, back up that way. Cool. Yeah, I was like, there's
Though,
way
to be
more.
honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
Gotta get back up to that spooky house.
I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
It's crazy that there was a train there and now there is not a train there. So, this is a game about a family
And when you look at the house,
that's cursed.
that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness.
And so we're learning about all the different ways that the family members
Any
have
of
died.
it seems possible.
Let me through. Let me through. It's the way I'm supposed to go, right? I don't have to go. Oh, I have to go sideways. Ha 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 ha. Right? Oh yeah, they're gonna make me like hop something. Right? I see. Oh, I see. Yes, it kind of does look like the Hello Neighbor house because it has that kind of like add-on
just gotten
style.
used to it.
Yeah, it
What
does
kind
have
of
that kind
family
of tacked
finishes
on.
building a cemetery before starting the house?
Oh, we're going to the cemetery. Cool. Yeah, because this house has been tacked onto it
for
the
me
same
to admit
way.
this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault. Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Oh, that's so good. For Walter, the hole in the... Oh my god. Where he walked out and... cry.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but
Hello
for
Neighbor
Edie,
sequel,
the past never
The
went
Cursed
away.
Family.
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night. Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
But I thought I would do kind of like
There's
a
so many things I
quieter,
wish I could ask my mom now.
darker...
Part of me thinks this is
Game.
what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
A quieter, darker vibe because it's about to be, you know, fall. It's literally gonna be fall tomorrow. So, who honks? Who honks on my house? Oh, thank you. Thank you for the honk.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Pregnant? Oh, right, she's pregnant.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
It was too quiet. There are more you can play. It's got some good sounds in there. Oh, thank you, creeps.
They were both pretty intense.
I think you're really gonna like Uncle Sam's room. For reasons.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something. Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Time to do Sam's story. It's true. Your room is in this game. 100,000%. However, I'm not sure that Sam is the same as you. No, hello. I'd like to read Sam's story, please. Why won't you let me read it? There we go. Ooh, man down.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm? Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend.
Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Oh no! Sorry, Creeps pressed the escape. Oh, too blurry.
Aw.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hold still while I take a picture of you.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
This
Some guy who
is
died.
the Booker.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
Hello there. General Kenobi.
Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn.
General Kenobi.
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Oh my god. I thought that was like in the game. I was like, who the fuck is saying General Kenobi? Please don't shoot it!
Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn. Great shot, Dawn!
Bam.
I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about—
Dad!
And he fell off the cliff. That's why we don't hunt, my friends.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
That's why we don't hunt, my friends. That's why we don't do it. Right. Haha, I can use this door now. Oh, Rook, thank you for hosting. Welcome to the host club. R.I.P. in peace to Uncle Sam. Secret
After Sam died,
tunnel.
my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Ah, Mr. Gregory. Who bonks?
Dear Kay, Do you remember the way Gregory
Thank you
used
for
to laugh
bonking
when
in
he
the
thought he
middle
was
of the
alone?
baby story.
Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
Sorry, late. Like you meant to play bonk when the guy fell off the cliff.
I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Ooh, that's that Froggy, that toy that was on the counter in the pink bathroom. That's gotta be in here. It's gotta be this.
Bath time's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie.
Yeah,
Hello?
for the... Yeah.
Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I like the frog, though.
I wonder what he saw.
This is fork time?
You reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination.
Oh, fun.
Whatever it was, he saw.
This is cute. You had the frog? Did it swim like this for real? That's dope. That's fun. I never had bath toys like this.
Sure made him happy.
I like that the kid has a crazy grasp of classical music. This is fun. Does this go on for some time? What is this? Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Oh, we're trying to get up on that shelf. Okay. Nope, didn't get bounced.
I know how silly it sounds. But I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Hey.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
Greg is a baby, so... Oh, the handle, yeah. More waddy for bath. It's cold in here, I want more bath waddy.
I wish you could have told us.
Yeah, bath
about
time.
what we saw.
Da, 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 da. da 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 da.
There's so much I don't understand about Gregory. About everything. But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. I want him to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Gregory. That's the picture. Oh, bye! Booker will be back next week with more commentary. Thank you so much for stopping in. I appreciate it. Alright, we got more to do. And
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
Keeps has laid down on my arm. Hello.
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
There they are.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Get fucked.
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
There they are.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
I like this one.
The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power.
Stop.
But all my father said to this was, make the music louder.
There we go. Oh, cool.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Glad they didn't. We're getting there, guys. We might finish this in one sesh. Greg, be a baby. Thank you. Wyman.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay. Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died. My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again.
I like him. I like the little dolls in the planter.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
Yeah, this is the tower.
And for a while, things were good. Almost normal, but it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
No, don't go back out. No, we gotta go talk. We gotta go learn about Milton. This is part of the soundtrack.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Will you let me do it?
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
I think Milton is my favorite character in the whole game.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. I think Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Okay, we're going up. We're going into the tower.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
I'm trying to do, like, I'm doing the fish and I'm doing the labyrinth, and I am distracted.
But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He taught talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis.
St. Louis.
He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
Until
That's
one
fun.
day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a
beautiful princess. You know, I'm gonna go with handsome queen.
beautiful prince,
No, I
handsome queen.
I'm gonna go with a handsome queen.
The queen was on her own quest for radiant rainbows. He followed the sound of her silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Oh, now we're in here.
Began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember
Hi,
Lewis,
Rook. No
the
worries.
cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him.
Yeah, I
Even after he
don't.
said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
But this one is very sad.
The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him.
I personally, oh Molly. Yeah, I personally like Milton the best. Milton's my fave.
His queen waited, holding his crown.
Yep.
There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
And that's Milton. That's Lewis.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
So we just have Edie and Dawn left. Like, we're gonna get through this in one play. I was thinking maybe we'd have to have more than one. I really want to go back to Milton's room. I know we just were in there, but Milton is my favorite, so I'm going back. No, don't go back. Ugh, no. No, I want to go to Milton's tower. Let me in Milton's room. No, I have not played that. Stop! Is it not letting me go back? I want to go back to Milton's room. I'm gonna try one more time. There we go. Yes! No, I have not played that. Milton's my favorite little guy. I'm specifically going back to his room because I hope they'll play the soundtrack again. Cause my favorite piece from the whole game. Milton. We'll play it again. He does? Oh, hell yeah. Milton is my favorite. And this is my favorite part of the soundtrack. Milton. Because this is the door. This is the door he paints. And he steps into it, and then his footsteps are gone. Okay, sorry. I wanted to vibe with Milton again. He's my favorite. I wish he had a better name. Cries about Milton. I want to play that. Yeah, that's Milton is my fave. I love him. That's my boy. My boy Milton. Okay, get back in there. Get back in there, go through that door. Whew, why is it I always get a headache when I stream? No, don't. I hate the hitboxes in this game. Okay, get back in there. Ugh. Okay, here we go.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
I guess so. I don't know. It could be. God, Edith's room is so cool.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
Here I go, here I go, here I go again.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. there'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I
Rook,
lost
can you
my
look up
way.
what a blue light headache feels like? God. Oh god. Oh god. It's foggy.
I got turned around.
Oh god.
I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
Perhaps it has something to do with the blue light.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go. I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the band came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you.
Hello, little cat. Hello, baby.
But now I hope you'll never see it.
Hi, baby.
I
You
just
are
want
such
to
a
meet
sweet
you
cat.
and tell you all these stories myself.
I think we are being born. Currently.
But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
We are being born. That is what occurred.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask But I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Ugh. That's it, baby! That is the entirety. I was thinking this was going to take a couple of sessions, so I'm very excited that I got through it in just one. So we can start off, we can push into Halloween season, covered this story. It's ready to go. We finished it. We did it. So, Rook, I know you're here. I know you're watching this. I want your insight, because you said you had, what is what I'm thinking of? Like fan theories, headcanons. You have the TED Talk. So I want, Rook, I want what's your thoughts while we go through the credits? Because that was a fun one. Oh, it's such a good game. I'm so glad I got the chance to play through it on stream, because it's choice. But now I have to play the Milton game, The Unfinished Swan. I'm very much looking forward to. Hello. Creeps has decided to lick. Are you seasoning me so you can bite me later? Oh, baby, baby. I love a little cat. You're such a sweetie. You're such a sweetie. You're such a sweetie. Except you bite my toes. Hi. Yeah. Achievement unlocked. Thanks, Johan. Yeah, he's the unlockables coordinator. Good for him. Yeah. Okay, so beginning off, Molly's death was entirely Grandma Edith's fault. So you know the berries that little Molly ate. Go on. Yes, I do know the berries that Molly ate. Also, totally avoidable if you had just let her out of her room and let her have, like, I don't know, some Ritz crackers or something. But go on. Holly. Isn't that poison? That's poison, right? Yeah, toxic. So, first of all, why was that in a little girl's bedroom? Should not have been. That's not cool or good. Second of all, yeah, I mean, that's totally avoidable if they had not been in her room. But secondly, if she had been able to have some dinner. What the heck? She was so hungry. She was going to eat her pet fish. That's no good. So, yes. Grandma Edith, totally her fault. It was totally her fault. I 100% agree with that. Because it was near Christmas time, so it makes sense why it's, oh, well, yeah, but even if it's holiday stuff, like, you still don't put toxic things in a child's bedroom. Don't do that. That's not appropriate. You can put, like, some fake, or, like, I don't know, like a garland that doesn't have toxic berries on it. Rook, if you're still active, we can hop into voice chat and we can discuss, like, verbally what's going on. That's up to you, though. I know it's late where you are, very late. And the entire theory of a curse really downplays a lot of those. That's true. That's true. With the, and you know, that's kind of what Edith's mom was saying. Oh, okay, one sec, great. Cool, yeah. I'll go full screen. Like, this is, like, finishing up. I'll go full screen. We can hop in a voice chat in Ooh Gang, and we can chat. But look at this! Finch! Little Finch! The end. Ta-da! Look at this! We got him! We did it! Yes, I want to quit the game. Aww. Dang. I got 3 of 9 achievements. Finished all the stories. I saw Johan's name in the ending credits. And I got all roads. But I'm still missing, like, most of the achievements. That's okay. It's totally fine. I'm going to hop in a voice chat in Ooh Gang. And I'm in general. Hello, Rook.
Howdy.
How's it going? Welcome
Doing
to
all
stream, by the way. You are live on the air.
Oh, I know. I was watching.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, let's
TED Talk
chat.
time.
Yeah, let's chat.
Oh, God.
So first I do want to address what you were saying, like the idea of a curse downplays the preventable deaths, and I 100% agree with that. Like, I think that by perpetuating the idea that it was just a curse and that anything that bad that happens is just like, okay, it's the family. Like, that's just what happens. It downplays a lot of, like,
it
mental
downplays
health.
a lot of the personal responsibility.
Yeah. So, like, especially with Lewis, that was a mental health thing.
Yeah,
Like,
with Lewis, that was a mental health thing. With I don't remember his name, Basement Boy.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
spent 40 years down there.
Yeah, he was down there a really long time, which was he was afraid of the curse. That's why he was down there, right?
Yeah, that's exactly why he was down there, because his brother literally died.
Yeah.
So he was so afraid of this curse that he essentially sheltered himself, cocooned himself, hermited himself away because of this thing that his great-great-great-great-grandfather says happened.
Yeah. I'm so excited to get your full TED Talk. This is so good.
Oh, okay. So, for like going back, it seems to be a lot of children, right?
Yeah, everybody's pretty young, except for, like Uncle Sam and, the
but they don't count in for that. They just say, "Oh no, it's just the curse, no matter when you die."
Yeah.
Well, okay, then Grandma Edith also died from the curse, even though she outlived literally the entire family.
Yeah. That's true.
So like all these super preventable deaths by taking care for what was going on, by not encouraging these really drastic behaviors, such as I'm just gonna swing on my swing and I'm gonna go all the way around and then I'm gonna fall off a cliff. Who builds a swing set on the edge of a cliff?
You really shouldn't.
Like, or, so you got the swing set on the edge of the cliff, death. You got this kid who is playing with, I can't remember what he was playing with, but in the middle of a kite, that's what it was. In the middle of a hurricane, if I remember correctly.
Yes. Well, it didn't start as a hurricane.
But they saw
that it
was a storm and they live on the ocean.
Yeah.
So that's like 1 + 1 equals big storm.
Equals ocean. Like, equals ocean storm. Like, come on.
Now, I will say the movie star's death was preventable.
Barbara, yes.
Barbara's. But it wasn't like...
So I wasn't even really clear what actually happened with Barbara.
She got murdered, possibly by her boyfriend, possibly by an intruder.
Yeah.
No clear thing. But the real nasty bit about it is that comic book had the information that the music box had the key for the basement, which means Auntie Edith, Grandma Edith must have talked to this skeezy horror.
Had to have, because how else would the comic book have that information?
Correct. Which means that propels the curse more.
Yeah.
So not only is Edith within the family perpetuating this curse, she's going to outside sources and saying, no, look, the Finches are cursed.
Yeah, there's a curse. Which also even feeds into the fact that it probably was a mental health thing for Grandma Edith.
Potentially, yeah.
Like,
it could be narcissism, or it could just be someone just clinging on to the past way too hard. Either way, like, honestly, she could have legitimately believed in the curse. This could be completely, like, legit. Or this is just her way of spotlighting.
Yeah.
Because why would... After literally every one of your children and their children dies in a horrifying way, you go, you know what would be good? Let me build a mural in each of their rooms, and then I'll compile all of the things that mark their deaths, and then I'm going to shunt it on my only living relative.
Yep. Yep.
Like,
I'm adding like a little thing onto my stream of like, what's going on? Oh no, where did you go?
I'm right here. Haha.
There we go. It's true though. You are right here, which is what I needed.
But like, she keeps like highlighting this thing that may or may not be real.
Yeah.
But it's more real due to the fact she's putting emphasis on it.
Yeah. She's
like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, because she says it's happening. Now it is.
Yeah. So people are going to be like, "Oh well, the curse is going to take me anyway. Why bother? Why be careful?" Right? But on the opposite end of the spectrum, let's say the curse is real. But let's call the curse mental illness, because what always goes hand in hand with mental illness? Creativity.
Yep.
Literally every single Finch was super creative in one way, shape, or another. They all had artistic outlets, whether it be acting for the... I can't remember any of the names, pardon me. Whether it be acting, or painting, or writing, or photography, game design. Like, one of them stood in a single place and literally imagined entire worlds.
Yeah.
That he described in detail to a therapist. So he was trying to get help.
Yeah.
But as she said, I thought I could save him.
Yeah. I thought that this was okay.
Why are you implying you were saving him instead of helping him? You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Almost like she knew that it was a lost cause, which kind of feeds back into the curse.
Yeah, it totally does.
Maybe the therapist also believes in the curse. Like, I wanted to save him, but...
Yeah, well, because she's probably heard about it her whole life, too. If she lives in the area and she's any kind of social at all, I guarantee she's heard about the curse.
Also, Edith Finch, the younger, is a horrible mom. And let me explain why. During that entire sequence, you were climbing and like balancing acting and crawling through these tiny spaces. You were pregnant that entire time.
22 weeks pregnant, she specifically said in the game.
Which means you had this pregnant girl fucking hooping and looping all over the place in this house that had been shut down years ago because it was unsafe.
Yeah.
Like, it was already unsafe when it was in its prime.
Terribly
let alone
unsafe.
now.
Yeah. But now, she did say that she's like, if I knew there had been this much climbing, I never would have come. So, like,
she still did it.
But she still did it. Like, she showed up and she knew what the house was like. She literally lived in the tower.
She lived at the tippity top of the stuff.
So she knew what the house was like. It didn't change after she was gone.
It's not like Grandma Edie the next day before she disappeared installed that climbing wall.
Yeah. Like Edith knew what the house was like. And she was like, "Yeah, I'm 22 weeks pregnant. I'll go."
Yeah, here, let me just jump up there.
Let me just crawl through this tunnel. Who also, how old the house was? How do you really know that it's safe to be in that house, even for just things like
Honestly,
asbestos and chemicals and things like that?
Asbestos.
Gotta be asbestos in that house.
It's
I don't
not
know.
the asbestos.
Well, I'm sure they were doing their asbestos to build that house.
Probably.
But ooh, that's what I have to add to my little stream deck. I have to add a little
rim shot.
A little rim shot. But yeah.
And so now we're gonna fast forward a little bit. Because young Edith does the worst possible thing. She perpetuates it.
Yeah.
Dooming her own child, because what is her own child doing? Going to the
house. Going to the house. Literally, the last shot is her son at the house.
And he already has a broken arm. If you look at the title screen,
yeah,
he already has a broken arm. What is he going to do with all that climbing?
I don't know.
That house is probably already rotting since it's in the dead of the woods, which means wildlife is probably all over the place, eating the inside out, which means he's going to get to the tippity top of the tower, and the entire house is going to come crumbling down on
Which
him.
is what I was thinking was like always the first time I watched it, what I thought was going to happen with Edith. Like when you're actually playing through, it's like there's no way in the Pacific Northwest that house would not be ransacked by vandals or animals. There's no way any of that is still safe. You get one set of termites in there and that thing's over.
I can understand vandals not going there, because even vandals will look at that place and go, that
Be
place
like,
is unsafe.
nah. Yeah. That's true.
Vandals go like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And you know what's wild? In the very beginning of the game, you go to the mailbox and there's tons of bills. Which means someone knew that everyone disappeared from that fucking house and still kept delivering bills.
Yeah.
Who's using the electricity in this house?
She said in the very beginning that bills were like 7 years old.
Which means those bills are probably still there when the kid shows up.
Yeah.
Like at least 10 years later. That kid is traveling on his own. Better yet, where is this kid living?
Yeah.
What is going on with this kid?
Edith is gone.
Edith's gone. Edith died in childbirth.
Yeah.
He didn't have a father on that ship with him.
So why is he 10 years old and going to a condemned hand-built kooky house? Where are his parents?
I mean, I know where one of his parents is.
Well, okay, yes, we know where one of his parents is for sure.
Yikes.
Yeah. Yikes on that one.
But where's Papa?
Where is
your Papa?
Where is Papa? Where is paternal grandparents? I don't know.
Where is literally any aunt or uncle on the other side?
Yeah. There's the more that I really think about it is so many of these deaths were so preventable, especially Gregory, the baby.
Yes, but like even Sam was sitting there being like, it's just the curse.
Yeah.
And not, my wife chose to argue with me on the phone and leave our child in the bathtub for like 10 minutes?
Come on, not even. Well, I mean, the sequence maybe in total, but like the point where he was actually in danger was like 2 minutes. And that's just because she was on the phone and she didn't want Gregory to hear her on the phone. He's literally one. Maybe not even one.
I'm not going to belittle this one though, because as someone who has a baby sister, it takes literally 2 seconds.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is don't walk away. She walked away because she didn't want Gregory to hear what she was talking about.
Fair.
He can't understand.
And even if he can, like...
Yeah, even if he has... Like, if he can, like, really understand speech... Like, he's not going to know what's going on. Do not take your eyes off your kid while he's in the bathtub.
Yeah, that's kind of Child 101.
That's totally preventable. So let's go down the list and look at deaths that were preventable just by a crumb of like of preventative care. So
as someone who has a father that hunts, you're supposed to finish the animal before posing for a picture.
Yes.
And
Also,
I'm trying to put that as PG as possible.
Don't make your kids hunt if they are visibly uncomfortable.
I mean, yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm willing to give him a pass because he very clearly was not all there in the head.
Yeah.
Like he went through military, so he's got a very different upbringing.
That's true. He's got a lot. He's got a lot going on. So
he had a lot going on with a curse, and then going through the military, and then living through the military, and then dying to a deer. Like
yeah. Like okay. So Sam, preventable.
Absolutely.
Odin. I'm gonna say Odin was not preventable because I think he was just. He was 57.
Oh, I thought Odin went down with the house.
Yeah, he did. So
he could have prevented it by getting on the ship.
Yeah. So
but he was like, "Nah, I'm going down with this ship."
Okay. I'm gonna say Odin was preventable as well. Walter. Which one is Walter? Walter was the one with the train. The mental who was living in the basement.
Yep.
Preventable.
Definitely.
Mental health care. Preventable.
The way he died was not preventable just because that tunnel was already condemned. It was already not functioning.
Yeah.
That very well might have just been the curse.
Yeah. So that's different.
The funny thing,
the situation leading up to his death, totally preventable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, the funny thing is that he kept hearing the death trying to get in.
Yeah.
That was just the train.
It was just the train.
It was just the train passing by him.
It was just the train. And then eventually it was death trying to get him.
I'm just trying to figure out why they have a train system going through their property.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. But yeah, death preventable.
Preventable, definitely. Molly, preventable.
100%.
Don't leave poisonous objects in your kid's room. And also feed your kids dinner.
Yeah, she ate a rotten carrot, almost ate her fish, ate toothpaste, and then ate some toxic holly berries, and then slowly died in her sleep.
Yep. Preventable.
Thinking that a giant, awful monster was going to eat her. And she knew that she would taste delicious, which is such a fucking weird thing for a child to say.
Yeah, very fucked up. But I think at the end, she was hallucinating from the toxicity.
Even hallucinating, that's a strange thing for a child to say.
That's
true. Oh yes, I'm going to be delicious.
Yeah.
This monster's going to eat me.
Barbara, not preventable.
I mean,
I think that's literally just unfortunate.
It was definitely unfortunate, 100%. But I like to think that potentially the Finch curse drew her boyfriend in.
Yeah,
because
that's
there's
true.
also the theory that the boyfriend killed her.
Do you really think that the boyfriend killed her?
Well, he was still inside the house.
No, he was not.
Yeah, he was inside the house initially.
Well, yes, he was inside the house, but then she kicked him out. And she locked the door.
But even still, at that point, the tunnel was still there. Or the tunnel was just being built.
So he could have come back.
So he could have come back in through the house through the basement, which is in that refrigerator.
That's true. He could have come back in.
Potential.
It's potential. I don't know if I believe that particular theory, but I don't think it's completely baseless.
Because the kid was hiding under his bed the entire time,
Walter.
which means he saw and or heard his sister being murdered.
Yes. Which is what drove him into hiding.
Into the basement, which honestly, yeah, I don't blame him for that.
Yeah,
one.
I don't blame that. I don't blame for that. However, proper therapy and processing, like mental health processing of a family member's traumatic death could prevent, being a hermit.
I don't think I'd even want therapy at that point. I think I might just want to hide away.
That's
like
true.
honestly, like I get that. I honestly,
yeah, of course. Like
on a certain level, like I could say go get therapy, but like there are just some things that you don't bounce back from.
Yeah, there's some things that you don't ever recover from. Calvin, the swing, preventable.
100%.
Don't put your kids swing on a cliff.
Don't put a swing anywhere near a large drop with spiky rocks at the bottom.
Yeah, don't do it. Put your kids' swings somewhere they are safe. Perhaps.
Or alternatively, make sure you don't have a swing.
That's true.
Go to the park.
That's true.
Kite boy.
Gus. Preventable.
Gus, he was very upset that his dad was getting married again, and harumph, and then he got hit by a table and died.
Yeah. Well, he was being abused by his father. So I understand why he did not want to go in.
Was he?
Yes.
It's been a while since.
Yeah, they said he never hit us very hard.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yikes.
was the line. I know. Yeah, it was
Right.
it was
Fair enough.
Dawn's brother, Gus. And the poem was Dawn. It's like, he never hit us, at least not very hard. So he was being abused. So I understand why he wouldn't want to go into the wedding. Totally understandable. However,
maybe not fly a kite.
maybe don't fly a kite
storm.
during a storm. Gregory is a baby.
100% preventable.
Preventable.
Done.
Dawn, not. Okay, just a second. Yes, Sector, you did unfortunately miss the game. I was able to play through the entire game in just about 2 hours, and now we're doing a analysis of the characters. So yes, unfortunately, you did miss the game.
Sorry, Sector.
So Dawn is the mom, Edith's mom. That's unfortunately not preventable because she was just sick.
I mean, or asbestos.
Oh.
She wasn't sick, and then she moved back in with her mom, and then all of a sudden she gets sick really quick.
Oh. Well, no, she got sick after they left the house. Yeah, because Dawn died in 2016 and they left the house in 2010.
Oh, okay, then I'm completely off base.
Yeah. Well, they left the house in 2010 specifically because it says Edie died in 2010, and that was Grandma Edie who died literally the night they left.
Well, they didn't find her, so I don't know where she went specifically.
No. Grandma Edie, she died in the house because the van came to... Oh, it said she was already gone.
Yeah, she was already gone.
So she may have disappeared, or she was already gone, as in she was already passed away.
I don't know. I like the mysterious of she just vanished.
That's true.
Like she's just somewhere in the house.
Yeah.
Because I doubt she would leave, or she went back to the old house. And she's somewhere in there.
That's true. So Dawn, not preventable because she just was sick. Sometimes you just get sick. And that's how it goes. Milton, I'm interested in playing Unfinished Swan.
I won't spoil anything.
But he's not dead.
He is not dead.
Fuck
and he
yeah.
lives to a ripe old age.
I love Milton. He's my favorite boy.
He grows a very fancy mustache.
Yeah, boy! Like in his drawings.
Yep, he grows a very fancy mustache. And the game is interesting and much like this game, kind of bleak in its message.
Well, I cannot wait to play it. That'll be
Absolutely.
my next Steam purchase. I purchased a couple of games, so
Well, on the bright side, Unfinished Swan, I believe, is super cheap.
I think it's like $15. I just looked it up.
I thought
Yes,
was
it is
less than that.
$14.99.
Oh,
I'm looking at it. Oh, I could have bought it as a bundle. Dang it.
sorry, friend.
That's okay. I didn't even know this existed until just now. I'm so happy because Milton is my favorite boy. His song in the soundtrack is my favorite one.
Well, Milton's song is an entire soundtrack in The Unfinished Swan.
Cannot wait for that. Very much looking forward to that.
And in the game itself, you walk around and you throw like paint blobs.
Yes.
And you have to kind of like use the positive and negative space to figure out like your surroundings.
I love to hear it.
Because if you just paint everything, then you won't be able to see what's going on. So you have to use the positive and negative.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to test out that game mechanic.
Oh, yeah.
Lewis, preventable.
Which one was Lewis again?
Lewis was the one who invented the whole world in his head.
Oh, yeah. Mental health.
Yeah, mental health. That one is preventable. I also, because I personally think it was psychosis brought on by smoking pot.
I think he was just played on schizophrenic. He was about the age.
Oh, that's true. What was he? 20?
Yeah, about 22. Which is around the age that schizophrenia starts appearing in young adult males.
Yeah. So perhaps. Oh, Sector says that Unfinished Swan is only $6 on Epic.
Ooh.
So
looks like we're getting it off Epic.
We are going to be getting it from Epic, but when I get paid on Friday, because I think I have like $3 in my bank account right now. So
yeah,
because
I cannot judge.
Yeah, I bought a new keyboard today.
Yes,
which
I know. I saw.
I maybe shouldn't have done that, but the keyboard that I was using before has some very loud switches on it, and I didn't want to play this game with a in the background because it's like very atmospheric. So I bought a new I've wanted a new keyboard for a couple of months now, but I bought it specifically because I was playing this game today.
I mean, it's coming up to Wednesday, if it's not Wednesday for you already.
Mm-hmm.
And that's halfway through the week. So
Yeah.
2 days and you get your money and you're good.
Yeah, I should be good. And you know, I was doing really good at work, so this is like my reward to myself.
Ready.
So Lewis, preventable. Milton is not dead.
Milton is not dead.
But does his disappearance count as a death in terms of the curse, quote, quote?
No. And the way that I can say no is because I know what his fate is in the game.
Well, then I will hold on it. And Edith is not preventable. She died in childbirth. That happens all the time. But like a large percentage of the deaths were completely preventable with even just a crumb of care.
Prevention. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is a real bummer. And I think that it gave the entire family this like bystander effect. Because if they
that's
saw
exactly what happened.
Yeah. Like if they saw something terrible happening, like, oh well, that's just the curse, I guess. Like nobody wanted to intervene because they didn't feel like they could intervene. So it gave the entire Finch family bystander effect.
Also, really tragic one. The grandfather who while he was building a dragon
Oh yeah.
fell and then was killed building the dragon.
Uh-huh.
And Edith.
What was that, Sven? I think it was Sven.
Sven, I believe, yeah. Grandma Edie was like, "Oh yeah, my husband got eaten by a dragon." Ha 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 ha.
Ha 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 ha. It's like, no.
Like, your husband died building this completely ridiculous structure.
He died
to this
building something
house.
he didn't need to do, and you're gonna make jokes about it. I mean, I guess it's how some people process trauma. You know, you make jokes about it.
Well,
But-
clearly, Grandma Edie, I keep wanting to go Auntie Edie.
Yeah.
Grandma Edie didn't process trauma that
Anything.
way because literally the rest of the family died. And the way she processed that trauma was enshrining them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. A
Making-
literal,
making
like,
her-
shrine.
Making her entire house an offerenda.
Dude, I am so fascinated by Dawn sealing up the rooms. Like caulking all the rooms shut. That's fascinating to me. Like, what an interesting way to completely repress your family's deaths is to
Like
just
to physically repress it.
Yes, to physically, yeah, that's so fascinating to me. I think the whole story of the game is so interesting. Like, when I first saw somebody play it in 2017, like right when it came out, I was hooked. Like, and I've thought about this game like often since because it's just the entire premise of it is so interesting. But
It's really tragic in
is.
all of its senses. But I can't deny the idea of walking around a house,
yeah,
just discovering
the secret
like,
tunnels.
all these
Ugh.
secret tunnels and just the stories of these now past family.
Yeah. It's like living fables.
It is, yeah. You know what? That's a really good way to put it.
It's like you get to explore these living fables. It's so cool. It's so cool. And I don't know. It's such an interesting game to process because
Like dissect.
yeah. Because you kind of have to think about like the idea of the unreliable narrator. Like how when we're talking about Barbara, like the story they tell us about Barbara, like how reliable is that narrator? You don't really know. Like
because
what
it's a super skeezy Tales
like a
of the
pulp
Crypt
novel,
comic.
yeah. Like what? Like was there really man door hand hook car door? Or did they just like say that there was a man with a hook hand for flavor?
Or is none of it real? And in reality, Barbara died in a really like mundane way.
Yeah. Like
Or is Barbara even dead?
we don't
Because
know.
if I remember correctly, all they found was her ear
Yeah.
and nothing else.
Yeah.
So
And like
logistically,
it looked like when they were looking at like the crime scene afterwards, it didn't even look like there was any blood anywhere. Except for on the ear.
so legitimately, Barbara might still be out there somewhere.
She could be.
She
could have gotten kidnapped.
She could have got kidnapped by some yandere super fan or something.
So we don't really know. So you have to think about like how much of this is even true. And because we are reading it like a diary of Edith Jr., it's another layer of it's like playing telephone. Like she's just relating in a diary story she heard years ago from somebody who maybe wasn't even all there.
And then we're hearing that resuscitation
Mm-hmm.
from someone who never even met the main narrator, mother or not.
Yeah.
So
like
all he has to go off of is this diary about all of his dead family members, which is tragic. You know, the wildest part is this whole thing could be completely false.
yeah.
Like from top to bottom,
Mm-hmm.
Edith could have just made, as a writer, all
Yeah.
of these stories up.
And then, like, because she lived in that house and she knew it all, well, there are some things that are a little bit difficult to explain, like, why are all the doors glued shut?
Yeah, but isn't that such a fantastic thing? Like,
Yeah.
like yeah, my family died, so my mom decided to seal all the rooms.
But
Well, that doesn't-
maybe it was just like one, like maybe just her mom, or well, maybe I'm gonna say maybe her grandma. Maybe her grandma just had like a mental health break and did all that stuff, and all of the deaths are completely like explainable and understandable, and it just happens that there's a lot of death in this family, and grandma was not mentally well and did some weird stuff in that house. And then Edith is like, I'm gonna write this cool story to explain to my like why my house is like this, but it's really just normal.
like Winchester.
Yeah.
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 But the funny thing is, both Ediths, both old and young Edith, are writers.
Yes. Well, Grandma Edith was also a painter.
Yes, but
a creator.
though she was a painter, but she was also a writer because she also made the book for Edith.
That's true. So
And
maybe
she's
it's
like,
all just a story.
Maybe all of these are just stories.
Because this
Maybe-
is crazy.
Like, how many deaths in one family?
Yeah.
One after the other. Hypothetically, now this is just a wild out there theory.
And also, of course, this is all just a story. This is a video game somebody made up. But like, continue.
But hypothetically, none of it could be real.
Yeah.
From top to bottom, could be Edith going, hey, this is this and that and this and that. In fact, Edith, young Edith, might not even be dead. She could have just given this kid up for adoption and left him with that book.
That's true.
Because we know nothing about this kid. Literally nothing, other than he has a broken arm.
Which, yeah.
Which is not a character-defining feature. It's just an arm.
But also, like, who's to say any of these family members even really died at all?
Exactly.
Like, maybe they just
what I'm
moved
saying.
out.
Maybe they just moved out, and that's the story of... Or just the story that they have.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't die. That's the last story that they have.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah. That's... What a fun little analysis we did.
Oh, yeah.
It was fun. Well, I'm gonna work on this blue light headache. Because it's definitely hitting a little different. But I am very happy that we got to chat after I played through the whole game. I was expecting to be playing this game for like 2 or 3 sessions. So it's cool that I got to bust it out because now I get to play with
this
Mars
game
on
is
Thursday.
deceptively short. Like,
Yes.
the first time you play it, it's really long because you're exploring everything.
Yeah.
But once you know, like, there's not a lot in it.
Yeah. My first encounter with this game was I watched a playthrough of it on YouTube. And I remember the playthrough was like long as hell. But maybe it wasn't, and I just like there was so much content. It was like a literal content dump that like maybe I just thought it was. I'll have to look up that playthrough and see how long it really was.
That playthrough was probably, each story was its own video, so.
Well, I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna look it up right now because now I want to know. Like maybe I just like misremembered how long. I'm gonna look it up, and then I'll shout out somebody else who played it. What remains of Edith Finch?
You know, it'd be wild
What?
if it was my playthrough. Because I have a playthrough on YouTube.
You posted?
I did a long time ago.
I don't know. Edith
It probably
Finch
wasn't, but like the idea
would be really funny.
would be really wild.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to like I remember like it wasn't a YouTuber that I watched. Like I just looked I was like, "Oh, this game looks interesting" because I saw like a picture of it. I was like, "This is interesting. I want to watch it." And so I looked it up on YouTube and I just watched a random playthrough. So I don't know. I'll have to find it and then I can Yeah,
Absolutely.
all the playthroughs are like, I don't know, an hour and a half, hour 45, 2 hours. That's so interesting because I remember it being so much longer. Huh. Very
Oh.
interesting. Yeah, well, I guess that's just kind of how it is. It's been a couple of years since then, so. It's also weird that this only came out in 2017. Because I just, like, I remember it being older than that.
Are you having a Mandela effect going on here?
Maybe. Yeah, it was released in April of 2017. That's so crazy. Huh. Well, anyway, I had a very good time playing through the game on stream, and I had an even better time chatting it through with you afterwards, but I am definitely going to go get something to drink and go to bed.
Absolutely.
Well, it was nice to talk to you. Have a good night, Rook.
You too. And I will leave for your sign off.
Okay. Well, guys, that was What Remains of Edith Finch. I've been streaming for just under 3 hours. We completed the entire game in one go. And that means that I have Thursday open to play with Mars and gang. So, I will see you guys on Thursday. But until then, be sure to remain mostly hydrated for your body type. Eat your cool ranch Doritos because they're part of this balanced diet. Do not get eaten by bears. And until next time, I will see you around. Bye!